Hi, everybody. So I wanted to finally get caught up on something I said I was going to do and make this video. I really wanted to do it on Friday. A lot was going on. Sick kids, holiday stuff. It was insane. It was absolute whirlwind of chaos. There was just no way I could successfully pull it off and have it be purposeful in any way. So I had to postpone, but here it is. I wanted to do a video on moon rituals. It was one of the topics that one of you had suggested in the comment section of the discussion that I had started sometime last week about video topics. I did commit the rest of those video topics to memory, so we will be doing videos on the other things that you guys had brought up as well, which I'm looking forward to. But tonight, I really wanted to focus on doing a moon ritual or moon rituals segment. And I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. There's a decent amount of material that I'm going to be looking through, but I'll provide resource information, every time I go through each piece. So tonight I'm going to talk about a drawing down the moon ritual. And then I'm going to talk about, where was it? Creating and walking a moon circle. And I'd really like to do a charge of the goddess, if possible, if I feel like the video isn't too long. But these are the main two that I wanted to focus on first and foremost. So drawing down the moon ritual is when a full moon arrives, you gather some of your magical tools and yourself, go outside. Preferably, you got to go outside. If you can't, for whatever reason, you could do this in a moonlit window, or, if you've got French doors off a back porch that you can see the moon from and you can see the glow of the moon from, that would be good, I suppose. Obviously outside is always best, unless it's just spell work that you don't need to be outside for. But it's good to create, to be able to connect with the earth and whatever element or source it is that you're working with. So go outside if you can. And I'll just read straight from the text because that'll help me avoid the part of rambling. So the purpose for this ritual is A, for the empowerment of your spell work, B, for meditation, C, for creating blessed water or holy water or magical water, or D, for communion and divination purposes. So the book that I am reading from is called Grimoire for the Green Witch by Ann Moura. Okay, this is a really great resource, even for someone just starting out, because the way that she writes is fairly, I don't want to say liberal, but it's really easy to comprehend and easy to understand. And she utilizes her own written passage for each line of spell work or ritual recital or incantation. But once you become familiar with the process of a specific ritual, you can always write your own passage and your own material once you're familiar with how to utilize that verbiage, okay? Because that part's important. It's not just about writing a rhyme and hoping to the gods that someone can hear you. There's intent, there's purpose. There has to be a clear, concise message that you are trying to deliver and or ask for. So utilize the verbiage that she provides. It's very helpful to help you get the hang of things. So I'll go through each of the steps that she provided, A, B, C, or D, the purposes of this ritual. And I just want to add to her purposes. You can draw down the energy of the moon really for anything. It is such an amazing, helpful energy. A lot of times practitioners will draw down the energy of a new moon, okay, for the beginning of a certain type of magical working, and then they will close that magical working at a full moon, because the full moon is when the phases close and the rebirth of that cycle begins. So that's very cool. It's just cool, powerful shit. Okay, and it's good to work with, and it's easy, and it's there all the time. Even if it's cloudy, you can still draw down the energy of the moon. Okay. Okay, so for A, she has for empowerment of your spell work. So what you would do is cast your circle. Always, always cast your circle. And that will always be my disclaimer. Any ritual work you plan on doing, always cast a circle. You always need to cast a circle of protection, light, and positivity. Okay, and make it known to the energy that will be outside of your circle that is not welcome at this time. Okay, it's very important. So for that beginning portion of A, for the empowerment of your spell work, you're going to have your wand, okay? Not an athame. An athame is for storing energy, etching, drawing, This is for transference, okay? You can store for a short period, I guess, if you didn't have an athame, but this is mostly for transference and directing, okay? So you're going to take your wand, and with both your hands, you would point it at the moon, okay? This is after you've casted your circle. So you're going to take both hands and you're going to point it at the moon. Come on, focus. Oh, so pretty. So you take both hands and you'd point your wand at the moon, okay? And I'll read you her verbiage just to give you a feel of how it would go. And you would say, I call upon you, Lady of the Moon. Let me share this time with you and let the holy essence flow into and through me, okay? So that's basically you saying, hey, I'm talking to you. Can we have a chat? All right. That's you communicating with the moon, lunar energy. I need you at this moment in time. Pay attention to me. I'm here. Notice me. Okay. Bring the tip of the wand after you have stood there for a little bit. A couple of seconds, or if you want to stand there for a half hour and just point at the moon as long as you can, go for it, bro. You would then take your wand and press it to the tip, press the tip of the wand to your heart chakra, your actual heart, this general area where your heart lives, okay? And see or envision a silvery light pass through the tip of the wand and inward so that your whole body becomes aglow. So you transfer, this is that transference that I was talking about. You're taking the energy that you drew down from the moon and into this tool, and you're transferring it to yourself to empower you, okay, during your spell work, during your magical work, okay? Proceed according to the purpose, and she lays out A, B, C, and D, those things that we spoke about. So that is always going to be the beginning opening of your drawing down the moon. Whatever tool you're going to be working with, generally a wand, when you're trying to bring down energy, start with the wand. Draw down that energy, catch it in here, transfer it to whatever it is you're working with. In this case, for empowering spell work, it was yourself, okay? For that step, the wand can now be used in the right hand to direct energy into a working. So you could use it to draw sigils in the ground. You could use it to embark a tree with sigils. You could use it to draw sigils in the air, point at things, draw another secondary circle for additional working that you're doing beyond that point. Basically anything. You could dance with it. You could use it to empower another person with the energy that you have drawn down yourself. Pretty much anything. Possibilities are endless. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but Mr. B is not with me. He is upstairs, so graciously caring for Isaac. He's not feeling well, and he was very crabby. And this video was not going to get made at all ever if somebody didn't make sacrifice, and that was Mr. B. So, Mr. B, I thank you. You are a wonderful person. Moving on. So then the section B would be for meditation. So you would draw down the energy from the moon, transfer it to yourself. Can be used in the left hand against the heart for meditation. So you would use your left hand to transfer that energy to yourself. I can't hold crap when I'm trying to meditate, so you could really just mindfully transfer that energy to yourself. Thank the moon. Be consciously aware of that energy and those vibrations that has now created. Go through your meditation, trance, or astral proceedings. So then section C, I am really struggling, y'all. It says rough. Like I can't do anything apparently. Section C, creating holy water. So if we were going to use draw down energy from the moon to create holy water, there is an entire section. I'm not going to read it because it's long and we're already at 10 minutes. But if you get this book, you will see it's in there. So this section, she basically lays out, okay, you've gathered your energy. Here's how you infuse your water. Here's the things you add to your water. To further that infusion, here's how you proceed with verbal passage, and here's how you close. And then for section D, communion and divination purposes, kind of similar to creating the holy water or the blessed water, whatever you want to call it. Only the water is in the cauldron, or you could use a scrying mirror. Okay, if you're drawing down energy from the moon for divination purposes, you could use a scrying mirror or a cauldron with water. I think a cauldron with water is really freaking cool. So she lays out the section and the verbiage here on this next page, where you would you could read from that, learn it, and then create your own, however that suits you. Basically, she felt she has water in the cauldron. She infuses it. She transfers energy into it, lifts it up to the moon. Well, not the whole cauldron up to the moon, but lifts her hands up to the moon, brings down more energy, blesses the cauldron basically, and then proceeds with communication and divination. And there's passage for that. Then, let's see, completion of A, B, C, or D, point the wand with both hands toward the full moon and recite the following. Great Lady, Lunar Mother, whatever you refer to the moon's energy as. Your power I have shared, your knowledge thou hast sent me unimpaired. You are the goddess of the witches and mother of all who blesses these children whenever they call. Blessed be your power, and may your blessings be upon me. Thy child whom thou hast named, that is you. Me, you. So you could use your magical name in this moment, or you can use your real name if you don't go by a magical name. You could use your friggin' Instagram screen name. Goddess, gods, energy, ascended masters, they always know who you are. Pretty much. This has a very old religion sort of feel to it because the verbiage she uses is like Old English. You can change it. I don't really care either way. If I'm feeling lazy, I don't really write my own stuff. I'll read from my books because it's easy, right? But like I said, you can always change it. Once you get the process down and understanding and comprehending all this, you can change it. Then with open arms and the wand in your right hand, say, with love and honor between you and me, this rite is ended, so shall it be. Or by the power of 3 times 3, this rite has ended, so shall it be. However you prefer to close, that is basically your closing, okay? Set down your wand and touch the ground with your palms facing down to release all of that excess energy, unless you plan on transferring that leftover energy to your athame to be stored, your magical knife, okay? That is not for cutting, it's for storing energy and directing energy as well. Cutting is for the bow line. However everyone else says it, it's like a mini scythe, okay? Okay, so that was for that one. Really interesting. It's a lot more in depth than I made it sound. Okay, so Ann Moura, Grimoire for the Green Witch. Okay, now I'm going to zip through this one really quick because we're already at 14 minutes and I'm sorry. I feel like the videos are going to get shorter very slowly over time. But this is important material, so why should I rush? Oh, inner conflict. Anyway, this one was creating and walking a moon circle. This is fairly simple. I'm going to show you the picture just to kind of give you an image to think about while I'm describing it. Because as I was reading it, I'm like, oh, what? Like I read this already like a couple of times, but I read a lot of stuff and I do not have a good memory. So this is the moon circle. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. Is it focusing? It is. Okay. So that is the moon circle. You've got an entrance and an exit on each side there. Those are your entrances and your exits for the circle, because when you cast a circle, you can't just walk through it. Okay? It's bad. Don't ever do that. If you do have to immediately run out of your circle, ask spirit for protection. Okay? So, creating and walking a moon circle, basically for conjuring good juju. It's kind of like another form of drawing down the moon, only maybe not as in depth. You can create and walk a moon circle and then do magic in it. So I guess that's the difference. So the moon circle is a place to receive messages about your future. Before I get any further, this book is Moon Spells, How to Use the Phases of the Moon to Get What You Want. I hate when people say that, to get what you want, like we're all so entitled. It should say something like, how to use the phases of the moon to benefit your life. Something like that. And this book is by Diane Alquist. I'm gathering that it's probably Alquist, but that doesn't sound right either. So I'm just going to close up shop and shut this down. This is failing miserably. Anyway. Gotta put my granny glasses on. I can't fucking see anything. Moon Circle is a place to receive messages about your future. You can build one for yourself or with others. So you can... A lot of people are solitary, right? But this is something that you can do with your friends. You can get your peoples together and you guys can walk a moon circle and just sit in it and hang out, right? Play some guitar in the moon circle. Yeah. It is a circle created by the use of natural elements. So shells, rocks, pine cones, sticks. You could use sticks. Why is this struggling so much all of a sudden? Let's see. I don't know if I said brick already, but you can use brick. Any natural element, okay, that has not been reprocessed by something else. The reason the circle is used is the energy comes up faster within a circle and continues to turn and manifest and get stronger and stronger. And it creates a vibration that will allow you to reach spirit, like how we talked about in the meditation and trance. You raise your vibration to connect with spirit, to channel, and to get messages and have noteworthy conversations. Okay? The circle will be divided into 4 major compass directions, each one having specific meaning and insight. This is... I am not that intelligent. Like, this is the stuff that I struggle to remember, which I would have in my grimoire if I could ever finish making the goddamn thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't like saying that. Whatever. The moon circle provides a place for sincere people. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. Sincere people. I'm here. I mean it. Where they can resolve problems and come to a better understanding of situations, things that are going on in their lives. Native American tradition shows us the use of a medicine wheel, which has some basic similarities, but is far different. I don't even know why they mentioned it then. I guess if you dive into it, it would make sense. How to make the moon circle. You can style a temporary circle or assemble a permanent one if you live on a piece of land that is spacious, or if you can go somewhere where you can make a circle. If you have to do it inside, you can do it inside. But remember, like I said before, be close to a window, a source of natural moonlight, okay? So essentially you can create one large circle and then you make another one in the center, okay? And that's where your, wherever your magical items that you usually work with are going to live during this proceeding. So if you've got crystals and stones or beads or anything, your tools that you work with on a regular basis, they're going to go in the center, okay? Choose the spot where you create your circle. It can be an area that just feels good to you. Feel it out. This is an opportunity for you to feel the vibration of the earth, for you to connect with the earth and yourself and say, this feels good. That's you teaching yourself how to feel out energy and then utilize it, okay? It's a good time to practice that. You may opt to create a third extremely large circle around your two major working circles so that that inner path is like a pathway that you can walk around and like not step on your shit or wander off too far from your circle. Remember to leave a gateway open. I mentioned that when I showed you guys the picture. From the east direction, which is where you would enter, and one in the west, which is where you could exit. I've seen people use a circle in such a way that they have one entrance that they come and go from, whether it's an invisible entrance that you kind of create with your wand or an actual entrance if you're using a circle on the ground where you have an opening. I guess, I don't know. It's more of one of those, it's like one of those things where it's like, it's what you prefer. It's what spirit says you should do or what you feel empowered to do, right? I'm not going to get into how lazy I am with my magic, which is just not going to go there. Make a door so you can go in and out and say, I'm going out, I'm closing the circle. I'm coming in, I'm opening the circle, okay? Intent is everything. How to walk the moon circle. So basically, you're going to start in the east direction when you have got yourself and all your stuff placed properly. You're going to start at the direction of the east, and you are going to go clockwise, okay? Which I want to say is, I'm not going to say Widdershins or Dowsel because I don't. I'm going to get it messed up because I'm anxious and not thinking clearly. So you're going to walk clockwise around your circle 3 times. 3 is the magic number pretty much for everything. But if that doesn't feel right, if you get around that 3rd time and you're back in that east direction and you're like, I don't feel very empowered. I don't feel any vibrational force. I don't even feel a presence of anything. Like that rock doesn't even seem here to me. Like this isn't right. Go around a couple more times. I would say do it in sets of 3 each time. And maybe sort of walk with your hands out, like your palms out, do jazz hands. Talk to the moon. Hey, I'm trying to communicate with you. Lunar energy, could you please come down to me and assist me in my work? Okay? It's as simple as that. I know it sounds cheesy, but you can literally talk to shit. Hey, rock, I need to feel your energy. He's not going to talk back, not in a physical sense. So you would walk the circle. Always cleanse every time you create a circle. Always cleanse. So you can cleanse with incense. You can cleanse with purified, blessed water, or you can cleanse with sage. That's pretty much the go-to. Cleanse with sage or Palo Santo. Any sort of cleansing material that you utilize regularly. Cleanse yourself. Cleanse your circle. And make sure you always do that. It's important. And it also tells any energy, spirit, or manifestation that is present in that moment, you're not allowed to be here right now. I didn't ask for your company, so you need to go wait over there until I'm done, and then we can talk. Okay? That's very, very important. Some people like to use loose sage and light it in a seashell. I do that from time to time. Sometimes I'll break off a little bit of sage and I'll put it in my cauldron. I'm using my cauldron to hold up the phone. If I move it, everything's going to fall apart. But it doesn't burn as long. That's where my lazy magic comes into play. Because once my sage is out, I'm like, I guess that's good enough. Whatever. I'm working on it. Let's see. If you can't use sage, if you're you've got your circle in your living room and you're in like an apartment, or you're at mom and dad's, if you live at home still and you're a closet witch and you absolutely cannot light sage, you can utilize the power of yourself to cleanse a space, but you have to enforce that. You have to say, I am bringing my attention to any energy, spirit, or entity that may be present, that I am going to perform this magical working. I ask that you please step back for the time being until I tell you you are allowed to come back into my magical space. So I am officially cleansing this space. You can make up a little rhyme if you want, but you can essentially just take the power from whatever source it is that you're working with, or gather some of your own vibration through a little bit of meditation and use that to cleanse your space. It's quiet, it's private, and it doesn't smell. Okay? And it won't set off a freaking fire alarm. Okay, so now you're ready to walk the circle. Start from east and walk around clockwise. I've already gone over that. The number 3, the power of 3. When working with others, they might not choose to walk in the same direction. In that aspect, I would run with the rule, everybody's just being driven to do what they feel in that moment. Roll with it, guys. Just roll with it. You can sit, let's see. There's no right or wrong. Sharing a space with someone will not take away energy from you or deplete the messages you are receiving. Remember that. This specific walking the circle was to gather energy, but also for divination. Basically, get comfortable once you've walked your circle. You've created that circular energy, so now that is going to flow around you in motion, but get comfortable. A lot of times people are like, you should sit with your palms facing up anytime you're doing any channeling or divination work. And I'm like, I have scoliosis and it hurts really bad. So when I sit up straight for a long period of time, I feel like I'm going to die. So I don't do that. I lay on the floor, as I told you guys in the last video. I just get comfortable. I basically just let my body lay how it would drop if I fainted. That's my philosophy. How would you be how would you physically look like if you just dropped dead weight? Do that. Okay. I'm so dumb. So let's see here. You can sit with your hands up in the receiving position. I would say put them up in the receiving position anyway, even if you're laying on the floor. If you're laying on your face, turn your hands over. Receiving position. Okay. Turn them over. Let's see. It says here to always sit facing inward toward the center point. So like, to me, that's like hunched. Like, oh no, inward toward the circle. I've read this a lot of times and it just clicked. Every time I'm like, inward, like inward? This is shit. Why would we do this? Inward toward the circle. Face the inner part of your circle where all your stuff is, where your pile of crap is, okay? God, this is embarrassing. We live and we learn. It's not necessary in this moment to know what direction you are facing. Face the moon. If it's directly overhead, which feels unlikely, but I guess not, depending on the hour that you're out, just face the frickin' moon or whatever feels comfortable, okay? Once you're seated in your direction or message point, calm your mind and relax. Do a little meditation. Allow messages to flow through to you. So meditate for a little bit, okay? Become one with thyself. And just listen, okay? You can ask questions if you like. See what answers you get. But listen. Really listen. This is a very great opportunity for you to practice channeling because you've got all the added energy of the earth. Like you're sitting on the earth. You've brought down some energy from the moon and you've created a circle of all this vibrational energy. Listen, okay? No music, no talkie. Just listen. It's hard, but you can do it. And use your non-stick pan mind, okay? Bacon in, bacon slides out. Let's see here. Once you feel you have received messages or you think, I've been sitting here for 45 fucking minutes and my back hurts and it's cold and I don't want to hear another cricket for as long as I live. I can't take this anymore. That moment has come to pass and it's time to pack up your shit and go home. That does not mean that it was a failure, however. It just means in that moment, you were more practicing and less receiving, but still not a failure because you're never going to get good at these things unless you try them. We have to fail to get better at something, right? I guess that makes sense. I just made it up. That's whatever. Roll with it. Lastly, make sure you give thanks to the energy of the circle by saying something to yourself or out loud, such as, I had it here somewhere. I give thanks to the earth and the life force for guidance. Or I give thanks to Mother Earth and Cosmic Daddy. Hates it when I say that. for providing me with this extra energy during my magical work. I acknowledge that you are here with me and guiding me, and I appreciate your presence. Anything like that. You should always say thank you. If you go out in the woods and you snap a twig off a tree because you're going to make a wand with it, say please first, say thank you after. Always, always, always. We are communicating with living, organic energy. Use your manners. You'll thank me later. So that was it for that. I guess short video just wasn't in the cards. 30 minutes. 30 freaking minutes. The next video, I don't know what I'm going to talk about for the next video, because I'd really like to get together with the other admins and do a video, maybe casting a circle, or, hear me out guys, calling the quarters. And if you want to know what those two things are, or if you know what they are but you're not familiar with them or haven't practiced them, hit up the Google. I prefer to research this information through books, because this is tried, you know, the information that you can pull from a book about the craft or magical working is tried and true. So it comes from like firsthand experience. But if all else fails, you can go on Google and get a general idea of what something is and how it's done. Don't take it as complete and total fact. Don't assume that that's the end-all, be-all, only way. Utilize Google. Take it with a grain of salt, okay? Oh, magical salt. See what I did there? Anyway, I'm going to get out of your hair. I think that's it. So, the next full moon is coming up. I think it is December 22nd, okay? Right around Yule time, like right before Yule time. This is a perfect opportunity for you the new moon before that full moon. Start some magical working, or utilize that time to like begin cleansing your altar, or begin cleansing yourself or your home. Anything that you're like, oh, I really got to get on that. I got to get on that. Do it on the new moon before December 22nd. And then when the full moon arrives on December 22nd or 23rd, whatever it is, close out that magical working. Utilize this time. Don't be like me. Don't do it. Because then the end of the day comes and you're laying in bed before you fall asleep and you're like, I really wish I would have just done that thing, because I'm really regretting that I didn't. Kind of like the laundry. I don't care about the laundry. All right, guys. So look for the next video. I will try to make sure that I have something for you on Friday. Mr. B will be present in that one. We'll try to squeeze in a laugh. All the videos won't be funny, obviously, because we're covering some important material, and I take it seriously, and I hope that you do too. So we're lucky if we get a laugh, but blessed either way, right? So be good to yourself, be good to everyone else, spread good juju. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.